cross borders to Kisumu County, where the government is once again on the spot of alleged demolitions that are said to be happening in the city as the county government strives to improve the outlook of the county.
Kama wafanyabiashara tunafurahia sana kwa sababu kuna mtu fulani ametolewa mahali akuja aweke containers, na wafanyabiashara wa hii mji ya Kisumu walibomolewa na wakatolewa wote.
Kama sisi wanabiashara tulikuwa na stalls hapa, tumepata hasara. So mimi naweza omba kama county government iko na mipango mizuri, iwe kitu cha ukweli, sio kitu cha kudanganya watu na baadaye wanapatia wananchi hasara. Na tumefurahia pande ile nyingine sababu Nyong'o alikuwa anasema anataka kutoa wale cartels. So tunashangaa siku ya leo wanaweka zingine pande ile na tujui ni kina nani wameweka.
Hatutaki kudhulumiwa na wengine wanapewa udhuluma yetu kwa faida ya kwao. Tumekataa na tumekataa.
Kevin Ogutu has been following up on the standoff between the county and the businessmen and now joins us live. Ogutu, those pictures don't look like that was quite safe. What exactly is going on?
Well, what's going on is what we can call a conflict here between the traders whose trading spaces or shops were demolished somewhere from 2019 up to a better part of this year. And on the other hand, a business person going by the name Newton Babior, whose company called Space Buster got a tender to supply the containers, the very containers that are now being destroyed. Now, the issue of the demolition and the struggle for business spaces is a hot topic here, is a rather hot issue here in Kisumu City, given that massive number of businessmen and women were rendered helpless when all their places of business were demolished. First of all, somewhere in 2019 to pave way for the expansion of Kisumu Port, and then later on to change, this was engineered by the city of Kisumu, to change the face of Kisumu City, the new face of Kisumu. So this particular instance happened yesterday in the morning when one business person going by the name Newton Babior, working in the cover of darkness on Tuesday night, put those containers, some of those containers that are being demolished. Now, by morning, there was a serious public outrage. Those who felt that there was unfairness wanted to know who put those containers there, because that's the very space where a lot of business establishments were demolished, and some people, most businessmen and women, incurred a lot of losses running into hundreds of thousands. On the other side, we had the same business person who had put those containers, and there were already businessmen and women who had rented those spaces and they were paying rent there. They had also got the required permits from the county of Kisumu, and everyone knew that they were there. But now, because of the public outrage, these new containers had to be destroyed, and then also the other wing that had got occupants also had to be destroyed because of the pressure from the public. What's happening here is that we have got some spaces within Kisumu that every other business person will want to get into, but the government had already banned the issue of putting stalls in every other corner of this particular city. So when these gentlemen put these particular containers here, already fabricated and already put into different stalls, everyone wanted to know who got the authority. Well, we also have the voice of the city of Kisumu through a statement from the acting city manager, Balawanga, who in a well-detailed response to what happened yesterday morning, said that somewhere in 2020, 4 companies showed interest in supplying the containers, and one company called Space Busters was given that tender. Space Buster is what belongs to the owner of these containers that our viewers have just been shown on TV. So what's happening is that the county government has now disowned the placement of these containers in that particular place where we are seeing them being again destroyed. But they are admitting that indeed this gentleman and the company were given the tender to provide the containers. So we don't know exactly what this means, because innocent business and women in this city will always get into any engagement, will always occupy any stall as long as they are sure that it has been approved by the city. But here is a situation whereby even those who had seen somebody placing the containers and had already got in there, they were given like 5 minutes to remove their wares from there. So this creates a very interesting business environment, but this has not really conclusively come from the city management. They are only disowned the businessman and the fact that by placing those particular containers where they were placed, he had flouted part of the regulations in that particular contract. So for now, we are waiting, the business community is rather waiting for that opportunity when they'll be able to occupy the Uhuru Business Park, which will host, say, about 5,000 to 10,000 businessmen, but this has not been officially opened. Then we also have the Kibuye Market, which is being, which is under construction right now, and I think this one will greatly solve the problem of a friendly business environment that evidently is now one of the problem here.
All right, Kevin, of course you've mentioned that the government banned putting those stalls. I know that Kisumu County has been going through these changes for a while now. As we wait for those different parks, where exactly are traders supposed to put their stalls, briefly?
Well, the alternative that is there, we have Chichwa Market. And Chichwa Market has got really small stalls, very small stalls, if you ask me. And most traders shy away from getting in there. So despite the space that is there, it is a bit crowded. And because of the small spaces, most people still defy that directive. And that's why somewhere last week we saw one woman being harassed by the county askaris. So the issue of space and how conducive the environment has been a big challenge. But if you ask me, talking about the positive aspect of it, is that one, Uhuru Business Park will provide the right solution to this. And if we couple that with the Kibuye Market, then I'm sure this will be a thing of the past. What really needs to be done is having those regulations in place so that if at all somebody places some stall somewhere, then it should be clear from the city of Kisumu that they have been given that mandate, so that those who are getting into this business do not get ambushed again by the bulldozers who come around and they have to incur heavy losses like it happened yesterday.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin Ogutu, for that update. Of course, we keep on keeping an eye on that situation in Kisumu. But